Hi everyone, my name is Leslie of Lifeholistically. For those of you who do not know me, my focus is on essential oil safety. I'm an aromatherapist with about 450 hours of education, and in addition, a holistic health practitioner with about 1,000 hours of education in complementary medicine. I'm going to talk to you today about a topic that has somewhat gone viral on the internet and on social media, particularly on Facebook, and that is using essential oils for ticks, particularly when they're already embedded. And I want to talk a little bit about why that's not a good idea and what we know and what we don't know. Before I begin, I want to say that down below in the comments, after I'm done speaking and the video has been published live, I will post a bunch of references for you so that you can do your own research, because I think that's important on any topic, that you should be able to do the research and decide for yourself of what you want to do. Now, I'm here to encourage and empower you to use essential oils safely, so that is my goal today. Now, what we do know about ticks is that they carry with them a high risk of infection. We do know that not every tick does, but we won't know that from the get-go. So there are various different resources that will tell you the amount of time that you need to safely remove a tick in order to reduce your chance of contracting Lyme or some of the other uglies that they carry. And you may have read 24 hours. If you remove them within 24 hours that you're safe. I actually read something the other day that 4 hours was more accurate. So they recommend to check every 2 to 3 hours when you're in a highly infested area. Now we see that is a very, very wide time range. So what we know is we need to get them out as soon as possible. Before I go any further, I want to talk about, what we do know. What is not the way to get a tick out? The first would be burning a tick. Okay, for obvious reasons, you could burn yourself and not kill the tick effectively and just harm yourselves. Okay, so number one, no burning ticks. Number two would be twisting the tick. Okay, if he's engorged or not, twisting a tick to get him to come out is really increasing the risk of, taking his head off of his body and leaving that head inside of you, and increasing risk of regurgitation. Okay, so we don't want to do that. And lastly, we don't want to lubricate the tick. Okay, you can find this information on the internet, CDC, very easily. You don't want to apply alcohol or Vaseline or oil. And yes, this includes essential oil. Do not apply essential oils to a tick to get him to remove, okay? So you may have seen the video that's been surfaced on Facebook and on the internet, and that was a mom applying peppermint essential oil to her child to get the tick to remove itself. And I watched it a number of times and counted slowly, and it came out to about 16 seconds for the tick to remove itself and crawl away, okay? We don't know how quickly he died or if he did die, and we really don't know what happened in that 16 seconds. So that's crucial, and that's the point that I want to make today. When we talk about smothering a tick, we're really ticking him off, okay? We're really irritating him, and that's increasing the chance that he's going to empty his contents into you, and that is what we do not want. So when looking at what we do want, okay, we want to remove a tick as quickly as possible. Again, not by twisting. I read an article that somebody, a friend shared with me out of Australia, and their ticks are very much more deadly there. They cause paralysis and can kill small animals, so a little scary. So they recommend one of two things. They recommend, again, prompt removal, remove as quickly as possible, or kill it immediately. And they recommend doing so with a liquid nitrogen, the same type of product that you would freeze a wart with, to kill that tick instantly and greatly reduce the chance of him regurgitating inside of you. Now, do we all have those methods when we're out and about? Not likely. So what I actually recommend, I did an infographic last week about tick removal, and I'm excited to say that in my world it went viral. It was shared a little over 5,000 times and was seen by over 30,000 people. Yet still everybody voted and still wanted an additional video on this. So this is what I use to remove a tick with. It's called a tick key. And you can purchase it on Amazon. You can get them in packs as well. And as you can see, there's a hole here. You put it right on your keychain. I've probably used this a handful of times on other people's children. Luckily not my own. I have not had the pleasure of having to remove it on my own children. But it's very easy. So you would basically get the body of the tick in this hole. And if he was on your arm, you would just make sure you get on the opposite side of the head and pull it out. I've never had the head detach from the body when using this tool, and this is what I recommend. I may apply an essential oil afterwards, just as an abundance of caution, but the tick key is the way to go. Removal quickly, not twisting, not smothering. Now, how does a tick work? Like, what's their anatomy? They're actually an arachnid, so they're in the family of a spider. And however many legs is dependent on their life cycle. So whether they're a nymph or a full-blown adult is going to vary how many legs they actually have and how big they are. In certain areas of the country in the United States, particularly on the East Coast, they're so incredibly small that we can hardly even see them. So I'm going to talk in a minute about prevention, which in my mind is the way to go with essential oils. So they have two what are called calares, which essentially slice your skin. I know, pleasant, right? And then they have a hypostome, which is a barb, which is actually what they hook to and connect to you so that they can feed on you. Their bodies start out relatively flat, and as they feed, their bodies puff up. Okay, so you don't want to go at them with a tweezer or something that's going to squeeze their body and make them, regurgitate into you, and you want to pull them out as quickly as possible. So what we can talk about prevention after, if we have to use this, we have to use this. But prevention is the way to go. And that is how we use essential oils. I'm going to share with you a couple of ideas for essential oils, and I have to give credit where credit's due. I learned this in my aromatic medicine training with Mark Webb. Now, prior to this training, I had used plenty of different formulations for bug sprays. And what I found was always having to reapply constantly, especially where mosquitoes are concerned with my son, because he blows up when he gets bit by mosquitoes, that you're using oils that are essentially mostly middle and top notes. And we know essential oils are volatile, so they're really evaporating fast, and the effectiveness of these are going to be really short term. So you're looking at having to apply every 30 minutes to an hour to have it be effective. And when you're using oils that can cause skin irritation and you're trying to protect your children, it's just not ideal. So what you need is a fixative oil in your blend to go longer, to last longer, and to be effective. So I'm going to list 4 essential oils, and they're going to go in order of the amount in your blend. So the highest is going to be the first one I'm going to mention, which is Buddha wood. Now, Buddha wood is a fixative. It's very vicious oil. It's actually going to hold your blend together so that it doesn't evaporate as quickly, and it's very effective against bugs of all kinds. Okay, so whether we're talking mosquitoes, ticks, all the way to bed bugs and mites and things like that. So Buddha wood, first oil. Second one's going to be Rosalina, which is a superior bug repellent, and that's also a plant native to Australia. Third is Nerolina. And then lastly, which you're going to have no more than 10% in your blend because they're aldehydes. My recommendation would be lemon scented tea tree. You could also use lemon myrtle. You could use citronella, and those you're going to want to have less than 10% of your blend. Now remember, you need a proper dispersant when you're making an essential oil formulation for bugs so that it sprays equally and evenly on your skin or on your clothing. And I recommend Solubol, and that's Solubol, and I'll put the link to that below in the comments too so you can purchase some. And then lastly, I would recommend making in a small amount. So say you're going camping for a weekend or you're going hiking, make a small 1 or 2 ounce bottle of this and spray it, take it with you, reuse it when you need to. But if you're going to use a larger amount, you need a preservative, okay? So if it's something that you're going to keep stored for, more than a few days or a week, you're going to need a preservative. So I think that about covers what I wanted to talk about today. So remember, no twisting. Pull them out as quickly as you can. Don't smother them, especially with essential oils, okay? Use the essential oils as preventatives. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, guys. Till next time.